بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. طيب, tonight, inshallah, is the last class until after the Eid. From this Kitab Al-Siyam. And the last bab is Bab Zakat Al-Fitr, paying the Zakat Al-Fitr. فزكاة الفطر هي صدقة سببها الفطر من رمضان أي انتهاء صيامه. It is paid due to the ending of the fasting of Ramadan. At the end of Ramadan, there's an obligatory charity to be paid. And there's two reasons. There's two reasons for this zakat. The first one, فيها طهرة للصائم مما حصل في صيامه من لغو أو رفض. That is a purification for the fasting person, whatever the Zakat Al-Fitr is paid for. It's a purification for that person from any foul speech that they engaged in while they were fasting. Any shortcomings in their fast, it is a purification for those shortcomings in a person's fast. This is one reason. طيب, من لغو أو رفض, or any obscene language or foul language or things that are not appropriate that a person may have said during their fast. This is one reason for the Zakat Al-Fitr. The second reason, وطعم للمساكين في يوم العيد الذي هو يوم فرح والسرور ليشاركوا الأغنياء في الفرح والسرور في هذا اليوم. That is also a means of sustenance, food for the less fortunate, for the people who fall under the category that are eligible to accept it for the day of the Eid, for the Yom al-Eid, the day of the Eid. As the day of the Eid is a happy day, is a day of celebration, so that they can also participate in the happiness that occurs during that day. So they don't have to, and as it comes in the hadith, they don't have to ask. They're not asking for anything from the people on the day of the Eid, that they already have what they need to suffice for that day of celebration. So they don't need, there's no need for them, or they don't have to go and ask around for anything during that day. So these are the two reasons for the Zakat Al-Fitr. Number one, for the person giving it, that, let's say, it fills in the holes of their shortcomings during their fasting, which we all need, we're all in need of. And the second reason is so that the poor are independent that day. They don't need anyone to give them anything that day. They already have their sustenance, and what suffices them for the day of the Eid, so that everyone can enjoy the day of the Eid. طيب. قال المصنف رحمه الله باب زكاة الفطر وهي واجبة على كل مسلم ملك فضلا عن قوته وقوت عياله ليلة العيد ويومه صاعا. That this charity, this zakat, is obligatory, number one, on every Muslim, which means that it's not obligatory on the non-Muslim, right? But there's another condition, that the person, that the Muslim has malaka fadlan, they have extra by measurement of a sa'a. They have extra than what they need and those people under them. Tayyib, meaning if a person's married, their wife. So there's extra food for them with the measurement of a sa'a. Tayyib, sa'a, we'll get to the exact measurement of a sa'a. And there's an extra sa'a to cover him, and there's an extra sa'a to cover her. And if they have children, there's an extra sa'a, depending on how many children. So if it's a man and a wife, the husband and the wife, that's a sa'a for him, a sa'a for her. Extra. And they have extra food. How much extra? Shwaya extra, the amount of a sa'a. Sa'a for him, a sa'a for her. They have 3 kids. And they have 5. 5 sa'as extra after they have their necessities, what they need. If a person is Muslim and they have this much extra, then the Zakat Al-Fitr is obligatory on them. Meaning it could be, depending on how many people in the household, if you look at it, say, okay, in order for it to be obligatory, could be 10 extra sa'as, depending on how many people brother is taken care of. طيب. وقدر الفطرة, how much is to be given? صاع من البر أو الشعير أو دقيقهما أو سويقهما أو من التمر أو الزبيب. The amount to be given is a sa'a. And a sa'a is arba amdad. A mud. A mud is approximately how much can fit in a hand if you scoop normal, medium-sized hands like this. Right? If you take not a person with extremely big hands, not a person with noticeably small hands, medium, normal size hands. To scoop, one scoop like this is a mud. 4 scoops like this is a sa'. We might not use that here because people might not take that. But in Mecca we used to do all the way closest to the text as possible. So we would buy the food and we would go in the house, clean your hands, stick your hands in, and scoop out 4. Right? And that's a sa'. Here we use generally measurements, what's written on the box. Right? People go into the market, what's written on the box, which is generally sa'a is generally 6.6 pounds or something like that. It comes out. It's 3 kilos, taqreeban, approximately 3 kilos, and that's extra. 3 kilos with extra. But we don't really use kilos, we use pounds. So kilos, pounds, about 6 pounds, taqreeban, approximately. 6.5, a little more than 6.5, say 7. And if the extra, inshallah, be sadaqah.
You're talking about like rice and
yeah, now you're going to get to that right now.
Dry food, okay.
There you go. Salman, ta. Marish. This way. طيب. It says sa'a min al-bur, which is wheat. أو الشعير, which is barley. أو دقيقهما أو سويقهما, which is flour. Wheat could be broken down into a dust of flour, or barley could be broken down into flour. أو من التمر, dates, right? أو الزبيب. So it's 4 things mentioned. Those 4 things are the things that are mentioned in the hadith, in the text. And it says أو الأقد in the text. It also says a form of cheese in the text. طيب. So if a person has a sa'a extra, approximately 7 pounds extra, according to every person in the household of one of these things, then the Zakat Al-Fitr wheat, barley, and then it also says aqid. At this point, because the issue is about this box sitting here, paying money, right? You got a few different opinions regarding the Zakat Al-Fitr. There's a group of scholars who say exactly what is in the text. Don't go outside of the text. If you have these things, you have what is mentioned in the text, and use what's mentioned in the text. Meaning, dates, raisins, barley, wheat. If you have those things, use those. You can't use anything else if you have those things. طيب. The next opinion is that even if you have those things, you can use things that are outside of that. Meaning you don't have to use those things. And why is that? As they say that the things mentioned in the text are those things that were considered the food at that time. That was the food that they ate at that time. And that's why it was mentioned in the hadith. But the intent is for the food of the people. Whatever the people eat, then that's what you give them. Clear? A couple of different opinions. Some stick to exactly what is mentioned in the hadith. And some ذهب بعض علماء أهل العلم إلى أنه يجوز أن يخرج من أي نوع مما يقتاته أهل البلد مع وجود هذه الخمسة. Some say whatever the people in that land eat, whatever is the normal food that they eat, you give them that. But some say no. What was mentioned in the hadith is what we need to, is what you're supposed to give. And as long as you have those things mentioned in the hadith, then you give those things. And don't go outside of those things mentioned in the hadith as long as they're available. If they're not available, you move to the next step. Some say no, those things were mentioned in the hadith because that was the food of the people of that time. And on this second opinion, it says لأن إخراج هذا روى البخاري عن أبي سعيد قال كنا نخرج صاعا من طعام. The hadith is in Sahih Bukhari on Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anh. He said, we used to give out a sa'a, that measurement, sa'a, min ta'am, sa'a, food. Then he said, وَكَانَ طَعَامُنَا, and he said, our food was الشعير والزبيب والأقد والتمر. He said, and our food was those four things mentioned. الشعير, the barley, الزبيب, raisins, al-aqid, which is a type of cheese, with tamar. He said that was their food. We gave out this much and this was our food. So they say from that hadith, it shows that the point of mentioning those things in the hadith, that was their food. And this is the opinion of the second group of ulama. Therefore, وعليه يجوز إخراج زكاة الفطر في هذا العصر من الأرز والمكرونة لأنهما غالب قوت الناس اليوم. So now he says, based on that hadith, which is in Sahih Bukhari, it's permissible now, in our time, to give out rice. Because rice wasn't mentioned of the things to give out. Rice wasn't mentioned in the text. But rice is from the food, where it says macaroni, noodles and stuff like that. Those things weren't mentioned in the text. But they're things that are considered from the food of the people of the land. And then it comes to a point of going outside of that, outside of food, which could be giving clothing. And this book is not for all of these issues of ikhtilaf, difference of opinion, but I mention it because it's always an issue about paying with money. Is there any basis to pay with money? Is this something new? And as he says here, and they don't even mention it in this book because it's closer, as there's some, there are a few, as Ibn Qudama mentions, and Al-Mughni, people like Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, Imam Abu Hanifa, when it comes to paying with money, that they allowed it. But it's not the majority of people who are allowed to pay with money. And it doesn't mean, I'm only mentioning it because it's going on and some people don't know that there are ulama of the past who actually allowed it. Doesn't mean it's the correct thing to do. I'm not saying that. Doesn't mean it's closer to the sunnah to pay with money. I'm not saying that. Point of mentioning this is that has it been mentioned before that people have allowed, or ulama have allowed to pay with money? It's been mentioned. It's not something that's from 2000 and up. Right? This goes back to the time of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he was considered to some to be from the Tabi'een, or the Atba' Tabi'een, all the way back then, Sufyan al-Thawri. So it's an old issue. The issue is old. It's not a new issue. Is it the best thing to do to pay with money like we see here? The argument of the people who say you should pay with money, as he mentions here, he says, وَقَالَ أَبُو طَالِبْ قَالَ لِي أَحْمَدْ Imam Ahmed said to a man, لَا يُعْطِي قِيمَتَهُ He told the man, don't pay with money, the value of it. Don't use money. Rahimahullah, Imam Ahmed. So the man said, قِيلَ له قَوْمٌ يَقُولُونَ عُمَرْ ibn Abdul Aziz كَانَ يَأْخُذُ بِالْقِيمَةِ Some of the people say Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. You know Umar ibn Abdul Aziz? Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He was referred to sometimes as the fifth Khalifa. The fifth Khalifa. They referred to him sometimes as the fifth Khalifa. Umar Abdul Aziz. Imam Ahmed told the man, don't pay Zakat Al-Fitr with money. So the man said, but some people are saying Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah, he would take the Zakat Al-Fitr in money. So Imam Ahmed said, قال يدعون قول رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ويقولون قال فلان. You're going to leave off the hadith, the statement of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, and tell me that Fulan says something? What Umar ibn Abdul Aziz used to do, and we got the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's an argument. Or they say that there was money. There was money during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They had currency, and they didn't choose. They didn't pay with currency. They paid with food. Point being, only point of mentioning this is because it's always an issue of paying with money or not. Just to mention, as Ibn Qudamah says, وَقَالَ الثَّوْرِي وَأَبُو حَنِيفَ يَجُوزُ Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, and Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, they said it's permissible to give money. وَقَدْ رُوِيَ ذَلِكَ عَنْ عُمَرْ ibn Abdul Aziz وَالْحَسَنِ And Hasan al-Basri, rahimahullah, Imams of the Salaf, and Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, is it also narrated that they also allowed the paying with the money. This is not to make it an issue of argumentation, but to make it so that we're upon knowledge. That we see people paying with money. Do they have anything or anyone that preceded them in Al-Islam in paying with money? We have Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. We have the statement of Sufyan al-Thawri, Al-Hasan al-Basri. Some, not the majority, some. Is it closest to the Sunnah? Which one person does what they see to be closest to the Sunnah? One of the strong arguments is that at the time of the Prophet, it was money, it was currency available, but they paid with food. But if you're able to pay with food, I would advise you to pay with food. If a person chooses to pay with money, we're not policing everybody on what they do. This is everybody's ibadah. This is a worship for every individual person. It's obligatory upon every person to fulfill their worship. If a person chooses to pay with money, then that's on them.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, you know, first, if those who want to adhere to the Sunnah, to the Quran and the Sunnah as close as possible, then, and they did it with food. You mentioned 4 different things, and I don't know where anybody who's indigenous to this U.S. continent, right, are going to get. I mean, they can get it, but most people who would receive it wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Right.
Barley, wheat, you know, and to prepare it, dates, you know, to make a meal, right? And so I would see where if someone gave somebody money, they could go out and get what they could need.
But
you know.
That's the point of that. How do you understand that hadith? They said those things that were mentioned, barley, wheat, that was only mentioned
because of the time.
That was their time. Tayyib. So what do people eat in your time?
Right, or you could buy that.
Then you give them the food that they eat in their time.
I have one more question. You said saha.
Saha
was four scoops.
And that, yeah.
4 scoops, right? So would one saha be like for one day's meal,
Right. One is for 1 day. The point of the Zakat
1 day's meal?
Yeah, once.
4 of those would be one.
It'll be enough for a person to be satisfied for 1 day. The point of the Zakat Al-Fitr is that the poor people are satisfied for that day.
So they're happy.
They're happy that day with all the rest of the Muslims.
That's right.
They don't have to go around thinking about what they're going to eat. When everybody else is celebrating, they're thinking about what they're going to eat all day. They're satisfied. They're fine. It should be given out. It can be given out with time is proper to give it out. It's going to come. Inshallah. طيب. He says, وَمَنْ لَزِمَتْهُ فِطْرَةُ نَفْسِهِ لَزِمَتْهُ فِطْرَةُ مَنْ تَلْزَمُهُ مُؤْنَتُهُ لَيْلَةَ الْعِيدِ. That whoever is obligatory on to give this, to pay the Zakat Al-Fitr, then it also is obligatory on him to pay for those who are under his care. Those people who are under his care, his children, his wife, could be a relative, possibly, right? Could be a relative, if you're taking care of a relative. إِذَا مَلَكَ مَا يُؤَدِّ عَنْهُ. If they have those enough. All this is based on considering the person has that extra after they have what is sufficient for their family. After you have what is sufficient for your family, if you have this measurement extra for every person, that's what you give out. طيب. فإن كان مؤنته تلزم جماعة كالعبد المشترك والمعسر القريب للجماعة ففطرته عليهم على حسب مؤنته. طيب. If there's, for example, they bring 2 examples. One of them is probably only relevant to us. If there's a group of people responsible for taking care of a person, طيب. Because the origin is that what? You pay the Zakat Al-Fitr for the people, for yourself first, and then for the people who you're responsible for. Wife, children, maybe relatives, could be a slave. They had slaves during that time, a slave. طيب. If there are a group of people responsible for taking care of one person, let's say, or it could be a slave. Slave, it falls under the same. Let's just say, for example, there are 4 brothers. There's 5 brothers all together. 4 brothers are taking care of one of them. Right? They share in taking care of them. طيب? You with me? There's 5 brothers. 1 brother is being taken care of by the other 4. They all chip in and take care of him. طيب. When it comes to pay the Zakat Al-Fitr for this brother that's being taken care of, all of those 4 brothers fall under the umbrella of taking care of somebody. But how much does each person pay? They break it down to how much nafaqah, how much do they take care of them throughout the course of the year, or throughout Ramadan. So for example, it's 4 of them. Let's just use this number because it's easy to make it easy to understand. It's 4 brothers, and that's why I said 4. They're taking care of the 5th brother. Each person chips in approximately, they take 25%. Right? 25%. Everybody puts out 25% of whatever, however much it takes to take care of them. They put out 25% and they chip in. When it comes to Zakat Al-Fitr, they pay 25% of a sa', which will be 1 mud.
Yeah, right.
Right? Everybody pays their portion based on what they spend in the normal taking care of them. When it comes to, for the sa', they put out a portion which is equal to the amount. What if it was that one person, maybe 1 person is doing 50%, and the other 3 are bringing up the other 50, and they will break it down like that. Whatever it is that they pay for the nafaqah, for the normal taking care of, when it comes to the Zakat Al-Fitr, they break it down like that. If we're doing 25, 25, 25, everybody does 25% of a mud, which would be, 25% of a sa', which would be a mud. Like that. It has been mu'nati. Clear? That's if you're taking care of that. If there's a group of people taking care of one person. Or, as they say, al-abd al-mushtarak. Well, there's more than one person who they own the slave. It's more than one person. It can be multiple people that own one slave. It will be the same idea. How much? Percentage-wise. And that's how much they will pay for the Zakat Al-Fitr. طيب فإن كان بعضه حرا فَفِطْرَتُهُ عَلَيْهِ وَعَلَى سَيِّدِهِ. And this may not apply, but if a slave, sometimes a slave is not a full slave. He's partially free and he's partially considered a slave. If he's partially free, let's just say he's 50-50, right? He still has an owner. An owner owns 50% of him, and he's 50% free. He pays his own Zakat Al-Fitr for his free side. And the other part of the Zakat Al-Fitr has to be paid by the owner. Clear? If he's half free and half still a slave, he pays a portion of his freeness. Maybe he's 30% free. Maybe he's 25% free. Whatever he's free of, he pays his own, and his owner pays the rest. واضح؟ طيب. It says ويستحب إخراج الفطرة فطرة يوم العيد قبل الصلاة العيد. It's recommended. He says it's recommended to distribute the Zakat Al-Fitr the morning of the Eid, before the Salat. That's the best time. The best time, as it's 3 times he's going to mention now, 3 different times. The best time, the permissible time, and the time that is not permissible. The best time to give the Zakat Al-Fitr is the morning of the Eid, before the Salat. That's the best time. It might be kind of difficult sometimes here because we got to find people, and that's, people like Masjid Al-Wasatiyah, they got something set up for the food distribution. The best time is the Yawm al-Eid, before the Eid. That's the best time. Wallahi, Mecca is easy. Easy. You go outside after Salat al-Fajr, and the people that are eligible for Zakat al-Fitr are sitting on the street waiting. They're waiting. They know that everybody has something obligatory to do. They know Zakat al-Fitr is obligatory. They know that they're eligible to receive Zakat al-Fitr. So they go outside. They know this is the best time that people want to do the Sunnah, the best time. So they go outside after Salat al-Fajr, and they just wait in the street. It's easy, alhamdulillah. You walk up, drive up, get out, pay Zakat al-Fitr, as close to the text as possible. And you're done with it, real easy. If you're not able to do that, there are other options. So the first time is the best time to do it, which is the morning of the Eid, before the Salat, before Salat al-Eid. The second time is the prohibited time. وَلَا يَجُوزُ تَأْخِيرُهَا عَنْ يَوْمِ الْعِيدِ. The impermissible time. It's not permissible to delay the paying or to delay the giving of the Zakat al-Fitr عن يوم العيد. When does the day of the Eid end? When is the end of the day of the Eid? When is Yawm al-Eid over? Maghrib. Meaning, person doesn't delay and wait till Maghrib of the day of the Eid. They delay, I'm going to give it. We out in the park talking, eating all day long. They never gave it as a Zakat al-Fitr. لا يجوز تأخيرها عن يوم العيد. Because once Maghrib hits, that's the next day. Yawm al-Eid is over. So it's not permissible to delay it past Yawm al-Eid. Why? Because the benefit of Zakat al-Fitr is that the poor people are sufficed for the day of the Eid.
So, can he do one day before?
There you go. He's going to get, that's the next time, the permissible time. This is the second time. It's 3 times. The first time is the best time, which is the day of the Eid before the Salat. The second time is the time that's not permissible, which is to delay all the way until Maghrib, the day of the Eid. We prayed Salat al-Eid, everybody went, they ate and had fun all day. The person still didn't pay theirs, Zakat al-Fitr. Now they call the adhan for Maghrib. Yawm al-Eid is over, right? It's impermissible to delay it like that, as the point of the Zakat al-Fitr is one of them, and so that the poor people that day, they don't have to worry about where their meals are coming from. They're cool for the day, at least for Yawm al-Eid. So when a person does that, it removes the benefit of the Zakat al-Fitr for the poor people. That's the second time. So we got the recommended time, the best time, We got the time that is impermissible, and we got the time that it is permissible. Yajuz. It's permissible. يجوز تقديمها عليه بيومين أو ثلاثة. That is permissible to pay the Zakat Al-Fitr before Yawm al-Eid. Before Yawm al-Eid. By 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days before their Eid, it's permissible to start handing out your Zakat Al-Fitr. لأن ابن عمر كان يؤديها قبل ذلك باليوم اليومين. Ibn Umar used to give it, he used to pay the Zakat Al-Fitr before the Eid by a day or two. And also they say لأن الظاهرة أنها تبقى أو بعضه فيحصل الغنى بها فيه. And if it's given before, a day or two before, more than likely it's going to remain 2 or 3 days. Point being, the poor person they fine, they're cool on the day of their Eid. They don't have to worry about what they're going to eat on the Eid. That's the point of the Zakat Al-Fitr. A person who received the Zakat Al-Fitr, they know where their meals are coming from, at least for the day of their Eid. So if it's given a day before, more than likely it's going to remain. And along with the narration of Ibn Umar, giving it a day or two before. Right? On top of that, they say that also it's more than likely that it will remain. So those are the 3 times. The time that is best, which is the day of their Eid. The morning of their Eid the morning of the Eid before Salat al-Eid is the best time. And it's important because they say they say it's best. Some ulama make it obligatory though. Some say that it's obligatory to give it before the Eid. Wajib. ذهب بعض أهل العلم إلى أنه wajib before, due to the hadith that whoever gives it before the Eid, then it's Zakat Al-Fitr. Whoever gives it after the Salat, then it's Sadaqah, min as-Sadaqat. So some said أنه يحرم تأخيرها عن صلاة العيد for the hadith. So some of them said it's haram. It's impermissible to delay it after the Salat itself. Some of them say, no, it's best to give it before the Salat, but you definitely can't give it, or you can't delay it till Maghrib of the day of their Eid. Those are the 3 times that he mentions. He says, lastly, وَيُجُوزُ أَنْ يُعْطَى الْوَاحِدُ مَا يَلْزَمُ الْجَمَاعَةِ. It's permissible to give one person more than a sa'a. Meaning, a person might give extra. As the calculation is approximately like 6.6 pounds. Something like that. 7 pounds, rounded off, say 7 pounds. A person says, I'm going to give 10. You don't have to give 10. Let's just say 7 is enough with extra. So I'm going to just give 10. Alright, they give them akthar min sa'a. They give them more than the actual sa'a, the actual measurement that is obligatory. It says, وَالْجَمَاعَ مَا يَلْزَمُ الْوَاحِدِ. Or that الْجَمَاعَ مَا يَلْزَمُ الْوَاحِدِ. That a person breaks it down and they give a sa'a to more than one person. Altogether they give out a sa'a. They give out the amount, but they might not give it to one individual. They may break it down and give it to 4 different people who are in need of Zakat Al-Fitr. Clear? It's easier if you're using the mud. It's a little easier because a mud is 4 hand scoops. 4 hand scoops equals 1 sa'a. So we said, for example, I'm gonna break this sa'a down. Instead of giving it to one person, I'm gonna give it to 4 different people. I'm gonna give him a mud, give him a mud, give him a mud, give him a mud. It's a sa'a. They gave it to the people who are deserving of having it. And that's the end of Zakat Al-Fitr. And that is the last of the chapter before the Eid. And ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to accept all of our fasting.
Some Muslims think that you're supposed to just get Zakat Al-Fitr to just poor Muslims. Is that?
Yeah, you should give it to Muslims. Zakat Al-Fitr, you're paying it for for two things. One, to fill in the deficiencies in your own fast. And if you're paying for your wife, it's to fill in the deficiencies for her fast. That's one reason. The second reason is for those Muslims to be able to be happy with the other Muslims on the day of their Eid. So that those Muslims who don't have are not worried about where they're going to eat. Everybody else is partying, mashallah, celebrating. And the poor Muslims are trying to figure out where they're going to get their next meal from. So you pay it early in the day, or the day before, or 2 days before, so that they're cool. They know they don't have to worry about that. This way they're celebrating with everybody else, enjoying the day. Clear? Khalas, ya Sheikh. We'll stop there until not next week. The week after that we'll continue, inshallah.